This is the Sakar Murli of the 1st of August 2023. Essence. Sweet children, in order to be saved deep suffering from Maya, take asylum with the Father. By taking asylum with God, you will be liberated from the bondage of Maya for 21 births. Question. By making which effort do you children become worthy of worship and worthy of being in a temple? Answer. In order to become worthy of worship and seated in a temple, make effort to save yourselves from evil spirits. No evil spirit should ever enter you. When you see an evil spirit in anyone, when someone is getting angry or influenced by attachment, step away from that person. Promise yourself that you will remain pure. Have a true Rakhi tied on you. Song. The heart desires to call out to you. Om Shanti. Devotees always call out to God. God is called the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. They call out, O Purifier, Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, come and make us children pure from impure. Therefore all are surely impure, because this is the kingdom of Ravan, and the 5 vices are omnipresent. It isn't that the 5 vices are still omnipresent in the Golden Age, no. That is called a completely viceless world. This is a completely vicious world. They have forgotten that Bharat was completely viceless. They go to the temples and praise the deities. You are full of all virtues, completely viceless. Here people are completely vicious. This is why they call out to the Father. The Father comes and gives asylum to those who are completely vicious. He gives them refuge. Now all are refugees, and so they are calling out. Souls call out to their Father, Baba, we souls have become completely vicious. Come and make us viceless. People continue to kill one another, and this is why they are called devilish. They don't know that Bharat was the deity world. Truly, people do not know that Bharat was a land of deities, and that they used to rule there. However, for half a cycle, Maya has gradually made everyone become totally impure. This is why people say, now come and give us impure ones refuge. You have now come and taken the lap of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, in order to become future deities. This is God's spiritual, godfatherly mission. It is a mission for making impure ones pure and thorns into flowers. It is the children's business to follow the directions of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, and change thorns into flowers, and make residents of hell into residents of heaven. You say, O God the Father, therefore surely you know him, do you not? So then you cannot ask where God is. Souls say, O God the Father. Souls call out to the Supreme Soul. He is not visible through these eyes. Souls too are not visible. This is something to be understood. Souls have the form of light. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, has the same form. The Father says, you souls shed costumes and take others. You souls are imperishable, whereas bodies are perishable. Souls shed their bodies. They say my father has died, but the soul doesn't actually die. They invoke the departed soul. You now understand this. Human beings of the world don't know the Father at all. This is why they fight and quarrel so much amongst themselves. Now you can't tell what they will do with the missiles. They are said to be devilish. Baba says, I don't create such a world. Baba creates heaven. He makes you into the masters of heaven. Therefore, the Father surely has to come. The Father says, children, I have come to make those who have become impure and unhappy ever happy. There no one would say, O purifier, come, or O God the Father, have mercy. They never call out in this way because they are happy anyway. Everyone in sorrow remembers him. Souls remember him. There is happiness and sorrow experienced through their bodies. When a soul doesn't have a body, he is beyond happiness and sorrow. The Father says, I enter this one and name him Brahma. Some understand this very clearly, whereas others don't. It is understood that they are not worthy of going to the pure world, and this is why they don't follow Srimat. This is the devilish community of Ravan. People burn an effigy of Ravan every year. That is a symbol. They also have a Rakhi tied every year because they don't remain pure. They have a Rakhi tied and then become impure. This is why they have the Rakhi tied year after year. A Rakhi is a symbol of purity. A Rakhi is sent to those who indulge in vice. Promise that you will remain pure. By becoming pure, you will receive the fortune of the kingdom for 21 births. Baba says, I alone come and make all of you worthy of worship. You are now worshippers. You worship deities, pebbles and stones, etc., and continue to stumble around. I liberate you from that stumbling and make you as worthy of worship as Lakshmi and Narayan. You have come here to change from an ordinary human into Narayan. You have been suffering from Maya for half a cycle, and you have now taken asylum with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Mama too has taken asylum. This Baba has also taken asylum with Shiv Baba. That one doesn't have a body of his own. His name is Shiva. Shiv Baba's name never changes. The names of human souls keep changing. Souls receive 84 names. Human beings don't know these things. They speak of 84 births, but no one knows who takes 84 births. The people of Bharat, who were deities, are the ones who take 84 births. This is an unlimited drama. It is human beings who have to know this. You know that God the Father is the creator of heaven, and so you should certainly receive your inheritance of heaven. Bharat was heaven, and then Maya, Ravan, snatched away that inheritance. You now have to conquer Maya once again. Those who conquer Maya conquer the world. When you are defeated by Ravan, you become devils, and you now have to become deities. Thorns have to become buds, then buds have to be made into flowers. When the storms of Maya come, the buds and flowers fall off. Some belong to the mother and father and then divorce him. These matters have to be understood. Everything is explained with dates and time periods, etc. This human world tree is inverted and the seed is up above. This is why people remember him and say, O God the Father. It is very difficult to understand this knowledge. You children understand that everyone remembers the one who is the Father of all souls. We are brothers. Everyone should receive the inheritance from the Father. This is called a brotherhood. You are brothers. You have to receive the inheritance from the Father. He gives everyone the inheritance of happiness and peace. The Father comes and teaches you in the form of the teacher. Then he becomes the Satguru and takes you back with him. Only God the Father is called the truth. This is his company of the truth. The company of the truth takes you across. Destruction now has to take place. You all have to go to the land of peace and the land of happiness. People say, take my boat across. We are drowning in an ocean of poison. Therefore the Father has to come to take you to the land of peace and the land of happiness. For half a cycle it is the land of happiness, and for half a cycle it is the land of sorrow. This Bharat is completely impure. It has become the land of bogies, people who indulge in sensual pleasures. It would not be called the land of yogis. The golden and silver ages are called the kingdom of Yogeshwar. They also call Sri Krishna Yogeshwar. You have to have yoga with God and claim that status. You are now claiming that. The Father explains to you so well. The one who explains to you is the ocean of knowledge. There cannot be a human ocean of knowledge. This Baba doesn't call himself an ocean of knowledge. You are now becoming master oceans of knowledge. You swallow all of this knowledge from the ocean of knowledge, just as students swallow all of that knowledge from a teacher and become barristers. In the same way, you swallow the whole ocean of this knowledge. When you have taken all of this knowledge, you will then receive your reward. The Father will go back to the land of Nirvana. You children claim your inheritance number-wise, according to your efforts. Through this knowledge you become deities and are constantly happy. You are now in God's asylum. Baba is liberating you from the bondage of Maya for 21 births. The Father explains to you and makes everything very easy. Only those who are to become ones with divine intellects will become those. You understand that you claim your inheritance from Baba every cycle. Maya snatches it away from you, and I then come and give you your inheritance of happiness and peace. Ravan gives you an inheritance of sorrow, and Rama gives you an inheritance of happiness. Baba tells you for how many births and for how long you receive the inheritance of happiness and sorrow. The Father says, simply remember me, the Father. I, a soul, am a child of the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. That's all. Continue to remember the Father and your sins will be absolved. You will become the kings who are conquerors of sin. The era of Vikramadjit, who conquered sins, began in year 1, and then after 250 years, the era of King Vikram, who committed sins, began. Vikramadjit and Vikram are the 2 eras of Bharat. Everyone knows about the era of Vikram, but they have forgotten about the era of Vikramadjit. This is a study. Look how far the Murli travels. How else would the Murli reach the brothers and sisters? Tapes are also sent everywhere. People at all the centres will continue to listen to the tapes. This Murli is wonderful. It is remembered of this that the gopis were desperate to listen to it. Father says, I come into the impure world. In the golden age, the deities have limitless happiness. No one else can have as much happiness. They live in palaces studded with diamonds and jewels. Here gold is so expensive. There you will build palaces with golden bricks. There they will be studded with diamonds. Look at what the Father makes you children from what you were. You simply have to promise to remain pure. There should be no evil spirit of anger. You understand when that evil spirit has entered someone. Therefore you have to separate that one from everyone else. There are many who are unable to destroy their attachment even now. Just as a female monkey has attachment, so people too have attachment to their children. Monkeys have the vices in them the most. From being like monkeys, you are now being made worthy of being in a temple. The significance of Rakshabandhan has been explained to you. It is not just a question of having a Rakhi tied on you. A promise is made to the Father. Sweet Baba, unlimited Baba, for half a cycle we devotees remembered you. You have now come to make us into the masters of paradise. This is why we become your helpers. We promise that we will never become impure. We will become pure and make Bharat pure. This is such an easy thing. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the Mother, the Father, Bapdada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dana 1. Follow Srimat and do the service of making impure human beings into pure deities. Become a full helper of the Father. 2. Swallow all the knowledge of the ocean of knowledge. Burn away your sins with remembrance of the Father and become a conqueror of sinful actions. Blessing. May you have a right to double the fruit by considering yourself to be a server and doing service, and fulfill all your duties. While carrying out a task, going to work or doing your business, constantly remain aware that you are doing it as a duty of service. I am doing this as an instrument for service. Service will then automatically come to you, and the more service you do, the more your happiness will increase. You will, of course, accumulate for the future, and you will also receive the instant fruit of happiness. You will claim a right to double the fruit. When your intellect remains busy in having remembrance and doing service, you will constantly continue to enjoy the fruit. Slogan: those who remain constantly happy are loved by themselves and also by everyone else. Om Shanti.